Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. How you doing? So I just did a video. I'm like, man, I'm gonna do a few more videos. I got some important stuff to say. Again, I'm a legend in my own mind. So video number one below, I just did it, crypto investing in XRP. And I started to watch, there's some hockey games on TV, and I'm like, you know what? I think maybe a few people need to hear this. So, again, I'm in my early 60s, and I've had the pleasure, the opportunity to meet, frankly, more than a few. I don't know how that ever happened, but quite a few high net worth individuals over the course of my lifetime. And each one of them had a special and a unique story. So I think the name of this video is going to be Risk versus Reward, or maybe plural, risks versus rewards. And I remember my one friend that I probably met when I was like 40, late 30s, early 40s. He was probably mid 50s. And again, however, I'm not defining or measuring success by how many zeros you have in your checking account and how big your house is. But I remember talking or getting to know this guy, this man, and he owns a lot of real estate. Did I say a lot of real estate? A lot of real estate. And I remember talking to him, and he said to me, I was so afraid when I bought my first duplex, not an apartment building, when I bought my first duplex. And I don't want to use his name. I said, really? I said, that should have been easy for a guy like you. And he said to me, well, this is what you see now. But he said, back then, it was a big deal for me to stick my neck out, take a risk in a developing or changing neighborhood, and buy a duplex. Well, he laughs now because, again, he's got more real estate than you could ever imagine. And he always would talk about the risk that he took and now the rewards that he's reaping decades later. Not from that duplex, but now he's, again, ski resorts, apartment buildings, you name it. Anyhow. And I've got another friend, again, wealthy individual, great guy, generous guy, and he has a story. And his story is that he had to take a huge risk when he got out of college to start this particular business. And it was a snow plowing business. He had to buy some trucks, he had to get some accounts, and he really took a lot of risks. But he said to me, and I'm still in contact with this particular person, he said to me, because I always talk about, hey, when you were younger, what would you do over or what would you do different? And he just would recall, we had lunch a while back, he would recall how he took a huge risk, but he just felt in his gut that that's what he needed to do to not so much become successful, but just to fulfill his passion, his life, etc., etc. So why am I saying this? And even my friends down in Guatemala, a lot of business owners down there, a lot of successful people, and they all have a story. And some of their stories are not what you would think. No one handed them businesses on a silver spoon or on a silver platter. They had to take risks. So all I'm saying is, if you want the big rewards, maybe you don't. And if you don't, that's okay. To each his own. But if you want the reward, you've got to take the risk. If you want the big risk or the big reward, you got to take the big risk. If you want the super duper reward, you've got to take the super duper risk. Now, obviously, I'm talking about cryptocurrencies. Again, look at video number 1 below, crypto investing in XRP. So sometimes we see successful people, again, however you define that, and you go, I want to be like that person, but you don't know their story. You don't know the heartache. You don't know the backstory. You just see, people driving around in nice cars or living in big homes or whatever. But to a person, everyone that I've met over the course of my lifetime, that in the world's eyes would say, man, that dude, that lady, that family's super, super successful. Somewhere in their life, whether early on, midlife, or later, they had to take a huge risk. And they knew it because they wanted the big reward. And it wasn't just to have a big reward, to have cool stuff. It was to be generous with their stuff, with their time, generous with their money, generous with everything that they had accumulated. So anyhow, keep things in perspective, but just know that with great risks come great rewards. Anyhow, easy for me to say. Anyhow, Crypto Mentor 99, thanks for being part of my crypto family. And I'm going to go back and watch some more hockey. Love y'all. Bye-bye.